Good morning.
Oh, hey.
Yay.
Sorry, I was daydreaming there for a second.
I-
I'm like, okay, what's happening today? I got to think of all the things I got to do today.
Record the podcast.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little story. Are you
Oh,
ready?
I'm so ready.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone right now is sitting with bated breath,
They
like,
they
oh,
are.
Lori's got a story. Yeah. Okay. And I feel like I'm just whining constantly. I
Why?
do. I feel like it's just a great big whine fest for me. But
Do you want some
so
cheese with it?
no, no, thanks.
Okay.
Um, Yesterday was our stupid election. So, they rented the club for our area. So I was told to let them in by between 7:30ish. She said closer to 7 because they like to get in early and set up and all the things. And I said, yeah, no problem. I could do that. I got my gigantic keister out of bed at 6:30 in the morning so that I could get over there, make sure everything was clean and bathrooms were fully stocked, which I knew they were, but you never know who comes into that club.
That
Okay,
is so true.
everybody seems to have a key. And I'm not even going to tell you what I found in the men's bathroom one time. Okay, let's just skip that part of it. But that's why I double check. Anywho, so I go there and fiddle around and I add some more blah, blah, blah. Make sure there's paper towel out in the kitchen, all the stupid little things. And so that took me till about, I'm going to say 7:10. Okay, I'm giving myself that's a long time, but no, it was just a few minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I pick up my phone and I'm scrolling and I'm doing the things and whatever. And 7:20 comes, 7:30 comes, 7:40 comes, 7:55 comes, and nobody's coming. Okay? So meanwhile, I'm getting 100% pissy because now you got me up out of bed at,
An
an
ungodly
ungod.
hour.
That's right. Sing it, sister. But so I am a little bit pissy. I'm thinking, why tell me to be here if no one's going to be here? So I happen to get up and I'm looking out the windows to see if there's any. I see a car in the parking lot, but I didn't know. I watched it for a few minutes just because I did. Sometimes they park there to drop their kid off at the daycare upstairs,
Oh yeah.
right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm watching it, and he's still sitting there. And I thought, screw it, I'm gonna go. So I went out and I said, hi there. He goes, hi. I said, are you with the elections? And he said, yeah. And I said, where is everybody? And he goes, oh, what do you mean? I said, I was told to be here for 7 o'clock. He goes, are you kidding me? And I said, no. I said, and I've been sitting here waiting for somebody to show up. I don't know who my contact is. They never told me who my contact person is. No phone number to call them and say, where the heck are you? And I said, and I'm kind of getting concerned. He goes, well, I was told to be here for 8:30. I said, okay, well, I'm going to let you in because I'm not hanging around.
Right?
So I showed him the piece of paper. Here's my phone number. There's the Wi-Fi information if you need it. Blah, blah, blah. Tell the contact person, to call me if she needs anything, or call me when you're ready to leave. He says, okay. So I didn't hear from them all day. Nothing. Okay. Now I looked at my contract last night because after the election closes at 9:30. So I was told by the lady that organized it with me that usually about 11:30ish, but in the contract it says 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh Lord
Okay.
Jesus.
So I didn't hear anything. It was 11:30, 11:35, and I thought, I wonder if they're sitting there waiting for me. I like what's happening here, right? So I go over. They're still counting all the ballots at 12 o'clock midnight.
Wow.
So I walk in and they all look at me like, oh, someone's here. So I went like this. I said, calm down. I was told to come here for 11:30ish to close. She goes, oh, well, The snottiest hag I've ever met in my entire life, well, other than me. But I looked, she goes, well, I don't know who would have told you that, but we're not even done yet. I said, okay. So she goes, can you wait out in the lobby? Like the little lobby. I'm thinking, whose building is this anyway? Certainly isn't yours. So anyway, I went, yeah, sure. I'm thinking, okay, Lorie, be the bigger person, right?
Yeah,
So I
stop
stand out,
tampering with the election, Lorie.
right? I'm standing out there and I'm waiting and waiting, and she comes with paper. She goes, see, this is the piece of paper I got. I don't know why you're coming here at 11:30. I said, listen, I said, I got the contract. The contract told me 7, and it did say 1, but Bridget told me that 9 times out of 10, yous are done around 11:30 ish. She goes, well, I don't know why she would tell you that, and I don't know who Bridget is. I said, well, I listen. I am not going to sit here and tell you what branch she's from, what freaking office she's bellowing out of. All I know is our conversation back and forth to rent this place was with Bridget. I said, and that's what I was told. I was told to come here for 7 o'clock. She goes, well, I didn't get here to 8. I said, no, really? I know, because I waited for an hour. And she goes, okay. She goes, well, I said, well, like, I'm here. I said, and although you guys are busy, I said, can I at least clean the kitchen and the bathrooms and have that part done? And then I'll just wait in the car till you're finished. And she looks at me like it was the biggest imposition. She goes, well, I guess it's okay because there's, when we rent arenas and stuff like that, they always have staff around. So I said, I'm just going to go get the cleaning stuff and go into the bathrooms. I don't want any part of what you're doing. So
Right.
that I really, like, literally, I could not care less about what you're doing. So anyway, I said to her, I said, I just want to get a head start because I have been up since 6 o'clock this morning. And, you know, she goes, well, we shouldn't be very much longer. I said, okay. So long and short of the story is, Steph, I went in, I cleaned the bathrooms, changed the uh, waste paper baskets, filled it all up because I had a renter 7 o'clock this morning. So I'm thinking I need to it has to get cleaned. I can't just,
Yeah.
you know. So I said, okay. So anyway, I went and did that. They had a whole bunch of stuff in the kitchen of their own personal stuff, so I couldn't clean that. So I came out and I just said, I'm done the bathrooms. I'm going to go wait in the car. Just let me know when you're ready. That was at I'm going to say about 12:15. Okay? 1:35 in the morning, I'm sitting still out in the car. Then I start seeing people, the workers, piling out the emergency exit, and that door is busted. So I'm thinking, oh, great. Now, how am I going to get that closed? Because it doesn't close proper. You have to bang on it to close it proper. That's a Lions Club problem. Anyway, but I panic a little bit, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get that closed? And if it doesn't close, what am I going to leave it there like that? And da da da. The overthinker in me. So I see them all coming out, so I'm assuming they're done. So I get out of the car, lock it up, and I start walking towards that exit. And I still don't know her name. She never introduced herself.
Wow.
She says to me, oh, sorry, we ran a little late. And I went, yep. And I walked right by her. No shit, Sherlock. I've been sitting here. I'm well aware that you're late.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Contract said 1, and it's 1:40 now. Thank you. So anyway, I go in. What a disaster. Oh my God. Like the floor, I needed to wash all the floors. They left all the garbage just everywhere. So yeah, I didn't get home till almost 3 in the morning.
Okay, you need a raise or you need to quit. That's ridiculous.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Because nobody else in that entire club would do that. Nobody. They'd have just left it.
If I didn't have, I'll be 100% honest. If I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, 100% honest, if I didn't have the renter this morning, I probably would have left it and went over today and cleaned it.
Well, yeah, and that's
Just
okay.
locked up and left it.
Yeah.
But because I knew she was coming in at 7, right? And she has a key, so I didn't have to get up to let her in. But I thought I have to clean it so that it's clean.
Well, yeah.
And I'll be smack gobbed if I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go
To
over
go
there and clean it.
clean. Well, you
I'm
didn't go
not
to
doing
bed
it.
until 3. Like,
I
where's
know.
3 hours of sleep?
I
No.
know.
Ridiculous.
So there, that was my evening.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I'm just telling you
I'm trying to
the
be
this is
Canadian. Okay. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. All of you be sorry for me,
All
okay?
of
Because
us.
that's what I want.
It
The
doesn't
little
help
wine and
you.
cheese party is over.
I was trying to give you a fancy wine party with cheese and everything.
Oh, I don't know what's happening. All of a sudden, I'm
Okay.
coughing.
But the last time this happened, where we did a podcast and I was coughing and you were coughing, we both ended
We
up with
were
the freaking
sick.
flu. We
We
both
were
ended up
sick
with
for
the
a
flu.
week.
Yes. So stop coughing.
Okay.
I know, just or we're gonna just stop this podcast right now. I'll be dead go if I have the flu again.
Cut. Yeah. So that
uh,
was my evening, and I watched your live. That was fun.
it was
It was a
fun.
fun live.
It
So
was.
if anyone has never caught Steph's live, what are you doing with yourself?
I mean, that's what I
But
want to know.
anyway,
Like, what else you got going on a Monday night? Nothing.
right? Come on now. But anyway, that's kind of that's it. Now I come up the driveway and I don't know who shut the light off on me, but it was dark and I'm like, okay.
You
So
could have been abducted.
I could be laying in that empty field beside me and not one single person would have known.
No, they
Not
still
one.
are. But no.
And then this is how stupid I am, okay? I see. So at the side of the house, we have a little shed that has it's like a light that comes on.
Yeah.
It's solar powered, okay? But if anything goes near it, the light will come on. Now, in the summertime, it's a great big pain in the butt because when all the rodents are out there, it's like bing, bing, bing. It's
Mhm.
like my room is lit up like,
A
what do they call it?
discotheque.
A disco. Yeah. So anyway, I come down the pathway towards the house and the light comes on and I notice that the shed door is open. Well, in my true crime head, I'm thinking somebody's in there waiting for me. Let's go check it out. Okay?
That
Let's
right
go
there is why there's so many true crime podcasts.
let's go check it out. So I go walking up and I put the door and put the lock on and whatever and I go into the house. And then this morning I get up, turn all the windows open and whatever. The door's open again. Did I lock somebody? Anyway, I listen to way too much true crime podcasts, and
Oh, me too.
that's where my
Every
mind went.
trash bag on the side of the road is body parts. I
Yeah,
don't
it
care what you say.
could not have been an animal that had
No,
just gotten in there. No,
no.
it's a
It's a,
person waiting for me to come home.
but just you,
This me.
nobody else. And then you are going to be like, you know what? Let's go see. Let's go see
Yeah.
if I can make
Well,
myself famous.
I need to investigate that door. And it's all dark inside. Afterwards, as I'm laying here, I'm thinking, what psychopathic mind do you have that invited you into a dark space just to close the door? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, I did it. I don't know
uh,
what to say to you, friends.
I love
But
it.
that's my life.
Okay, well,
So
everyone needs to ignore my hair. I have fans. It's hot and my hair is going everywhere. So,
now, I took that the wrong way. I have fans. Oh, aren't we conceited? I have fans.
have
But you meant the oscillating kind.
yeah,
Oh, look at
see?
that.
I know because it's right there. I made it stop oscillating Um,
Oscillating. That's it. I said oscillating.
oh,
I'm
you
trying to
know,
find a cough drop.
I
I have a Halls. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep filming.
am, I just forgot what I was saying.
Oh,
Oh,
you were
I
talking.
stopped it from oscillating. Uh, but it's because the way I'm sitting, if I sat up, it's not as bad. But then I have
Were
this
you
one.
tired or something? Laying
Always.
back like that?
I was laying back, relaxing, listening to your beautiful story.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. I'm
I
sure how we're gonna get canceled after some of my stories. I'm sure of it. Like, who's
don't
gonna
care.
cancel us?
The 30 people that are
30
subscribed.
people that actually listen and watch.
Hey,
Go ahead, I dare
those
ya.
are our 30 people, okay?
Yeah, yeah. So what's our topic today? I know what it is.
Our
Go
topic
ahead.
today is funks with an N.
Funks.
uh
Yeah.
Planner funks,
Plant.
creative funks. When you are just not in the mood or inspired to do either one of those things that we love to do so much, right? So we're going to talk about why we get in them, how we get out. Have we ever gotten out? Who knows? Go.
Yeah, I'm in a 9-year funk right now. No, I'm joking. Um, I think we kind of moved this one up a little bit because it seems no matter who we talk to, uh, everyone seems to be in some sort of funk, creatively, planning wise, whatever the case may be. And I apologize if I'm sucking on a lozenger, but it's either that or I'm going to sit here and cough my brains out, and I don't want that to happen.
And apparently we can catch each other's germs through a Zoom.
Yes.
So
So, um, I thought, you know what, we need to talk about this because, as I'm sure all of you are well aware, I am, well, I'm on the back end of a major funk, like major. And it usually is weather related for me. The weather kind of brings me down. And then if other things happen, and then before I know it, it's like, I don't even want to look at my planner because I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
you don't even want to sit at your desk. Like you
I
don't even want
don't.
to do anything.
No. So, I was all gung ho. I guess I don't know when I want to say at the beginning of the year. I wanted to do so many collabs and I wanted to have fun with the community and just get some collabs going um and then boom, I was like on a downward spiral to oblivion. And you know, that's it's getting better for me as the weather picks up. Like I am very much a weather person. If if it's even the rain, I don't really care too much for rain, but it doesn't bring me down like snow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but that's one thing that gets me there. And then once I'm there, I look at my planner and I think, oh, you know, I don't want to even look at it and I don't want to write in it. And, you know, my skinny, I can't even remember the last time my skinny planner was ever even decorated. You know what? I'm gonna look at it just for the shits and giggles. Pardon my back. But I don't even think my skinny, and I usually do that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm a liar. Okay, so I didn't do last week's, but the last time I wrote in it was April 14th.
That's still not too bad.
It's not too bad. But yeah. But this one, this spread, I really love that spread. Never wrote a dang thing in it.
Oh, that is cute.
Okay, so that brings me to do you have anything to add to that? Because we can.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so that brings me to, what do you do about it? Like, what do I do about it? Well, I try and I try and keep up with it for sure. The decorating part of it, mainly because I have a YouTube channel. So I'll do it because I have a YouTube channel. But do I want to write in it? Oh my God, my nose. Um, that's like you know what I mean? I think probably the only one I keep up with on a daily basis is my wellness planner. And that's because I write my steps down and I do, if I go to the gym or any downstairs or whatever the case may be, I'll put it in there. But everything else I have fallen by the wayside. So the topic that I was trying to get to was, how do I bring myself out of it? Well, one, I keep up with it. I try to, at least decorating part of it. The second thing is, and this is a taboo kind of thing because a lot of people think it's not really planning, but I back planned. So I'll go back. Prime example is, so um, let's say I didn't write anything yesterday, or no, say the 21st, which was the beginning of the week,
Yeah.
last week, right? I will go back and say, okay, what did I do? Just, just, just so that I have something written in my planner. And it's like a memory for me. It's a history of
Hmm.
what I've done
Right.
throughout. What about you? I'm
Okay, first
hogging
of
this
all,
whole
I want to just say how impressed I am that you can go back and remember something that happened a week ago.
Yeah. Well, I have to look at my club thing,
Okay.
and then I have to say to Meg, did we do anything this week? So it's not just my memory,
Okay, I
okay?
was like,
I am picking from
wow.
everybody.
It's like you're way better off than I am.
Yeah.
Um, my creativity, first of all, I no longer I mean I use planners. I have two planners. I have my big business planner, which encompasses a lot of things, right? Like
Yeah.
I own a business, but there are so many different facets to that business that I have to keep track of. And then I have one that is like a catch-all. Like it just is all about my everyday life. So business goes in there, but only because I have to do certain things for it,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
I quit decorating my planners probably middle of last year because it didn't bring me joy. That's not where my creativity was. I was forcing
Yeah.
it. My creativity is all this junk journaling, all the crafting, um, all of that.
Hmm.
Now, my funks come in when, first of all, I have fibromyalgia. And when I start to have a flare, it makes me really tired to where I don't want to do anything. I say I don't want to do anything. My body is telling me, sorry, you're
Yeah.
not gonna.
Yeah.
And that kind of starts my funk where I'm just like, and then I get behind, and
Yeah.
then I get overwhelmed. And when all that compiles, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit everything. I don't. So the best thing I do is, if it wasn't for the fact that I have a business and people depend on me, my products, my promises, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I don't know that I
Yeah.
could get out of a funk. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of times I do things because I have to, but in doing that, it gets me out of the funk. You know what I mean? Like by the time I'm like, okay, you are behind, you have all this to do, just get it done. And when it's done, I can just feel it's like, oh, and now I get to go play. I get to go play with my paper. So it
Yeah.
helps a lot. Another thing that gets me into a creative funk, not necessarily like mood wise, but where I'm
Yeah.
just like, is and this is like 100% honest, transparent. That's who I am. So, the month of April, I was like, I'm doing only vintage. Anything I do is using only vintage stuff. That Now in the beginning it was fine, but coming towards the end, like the last 2 weeks, I did not feel creative at all because I'd put myself in a box. And
Yeah.
although it was a fun box, it didn't stay fun. It became boring. It became, I don't know if I want to use the word boring, but it
No,
stifled my
it's
creativity.
kind of
I
repetitive, right? So
Yes,
you're not
very
bringing in
much.
other kind of
Elements
facets
and
of
things.
yes.
And even though I tried, I mean, I had all kinds of vintage books and papers, but let's face it, most of those items are in the same class. They're all advertisements. It's all, paper pictures. It's all this. It's you know, that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it stifled my creativity.
Hmm.
So let me tell you how happy I am. That's why I said last night in my live for May, I am not putting myself in a box. I just need to be free and create whatever makes me happy.
Yeah.
If my viewers have suggestions that they want to see or learn, I know there's people who want to watch me make a glue bottle dangle. I know people want to watch, the envelope thing. So I know there's a few things that I'm going to be doing, but it's pulling from all different kinds of things. So that's how I get into creative funks is being overwhelmed and putting my again, I put myself in that box. Nobody told me to do it. It was
Hmm.
and I could have stopped, but it's kind of like Leonard on The Big Bang Theory when Sheldon told him to wear that sweater until he resolves that whole issue. And he's like, it's the
That's
principle
hilarious.
of it.
Yeah.
So it was the principle of it. I said I was going to
Yeah.
do this, and I am a woman of my word to the best of my abilities. So,
So, okay, so my situation is, I'll tell you, I agree with you on the creativity part because, I try and do something creative in my creative journal and then maybe some little projects over the weekend. I can't even think of something to that's how I know it's bad when I think, okay, well, I should do something creative today. And then I don't do a video because I can't think of anything. And then next day it's like, okay, let's make something and then we'll do a live and we'll finish it off in the live. And then I don't do anything because I can't think of something. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
hmm
It's like a vicious circle going around and around. And then now I know like I keep going back to the weather thing. So I yesterday was a good day for me. The weather was sunny, it was warm out. I like you barely even had to wear a sweater. We had a barbecue with hamburgers and like it was just a really good day. And I was able to sit here with you and just like make lists. Okay, this is what's happening. And then, so I felt like that flow was coming
yes.
back and and like I said, after that, it was like, okay, we just got notification that a tornado's
I know
coming.
I was going to
Yay.
say, did a
So,
tornado come?
well, it's supposed to come today. So I don't know. Like it's pretty windy out, but the sun's shining. So I'm just going to leave it at that till something else. Until
Until you go
Toto
to
and
Kansas.
what's her name ends up on my roof, then I'm not going to worry about it. But um, yeah, so it's, you know, a lot of times I'll look, okay, I'll look at to get me back to the planner. Okay, let me preface it by this saying I decorate my planner because it helps me go to my planner. I like looking at what I've done. I like, you know what I mean? I
Yes.
think it looks pretty when you start writing in it and all that kind of stuff. But when you're not feeling it, you don't even want to get to it.
No.
But when you make it pretty, it it doesn't sound it sounds like an oxymoron, so to
No,
speak.
I used to be the same exact way.
But it makes me want to go to it.
Yeah, because
Do you
it's
know?
something pretty to look at.
Yeah.
It brings a smile to your face. It's
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of that same feeling when you see the sun shining out of your window, right? It's that
Yes.
little
Yeah.
ray of happy in your
Yeah.
planner.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I gauge where I'm at. And like I said, there's times, well, when I was sick there with that ocular migraine, like I couldn't even write anything down.
No.
I think I had to plan, and when I felt better, I actually had to go and do a couple spreads because I hadn't even filmed anything. I hadn't,
Hmm.
so because some people will say, well, why do you decorate it? Why do you do that? And I'm like, because it looks pretty.
And it makes
It
you
looks
happy. So, and that is
it
all that
yeah,
matters.
it's yeah, but what do you write in it? You could put it on your phone. Oh my God. Like if I hear that, if you could hear my eyes roll back into my skull for those people, I don't know how many times I've put things in my phone and still missed it. Still missed it.
It's so funny is the only thing I put in my phone is things that are time sensitive, appointments. So if I have a
Hmm.
one-on-one, I put it in my Google Calendar
Yeah.
because I will lose track of time. And my phone, I mean, I have reminders set for an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, so I don't lose track of time. But I'm doing that on my computer. This is not meant for old lady fat fingers. Okay? It's just not. Trying
Yeah.
to trying to do all of that with old lady fat fingers, you know how many times I have to go back because I swear I'm hitting a T, but it's a freaking W or the whatever and erase, erase. I can't.
That's like me and the
So,
O and the I. The O and the I are next to each other.
oh,
So every time I want to hit an O, I hit an I, like some sort of savage.
yeah.
Like who does that?
So everything on the computer. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like Instagram. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but one of the main reasons why is because there's some things you can do on the computer for Instagram, and there's some things you have to do from your phone.
See, I do both.
You edit on your phone. I don't even know how. That blows my mind.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
have tried
actually,
editing a video on my phone and I came so close to throwing that sucker as far as I possibly could. I can't. I cannot. I can't. Old lady fat fingers, and I can't do all the little stuff. Look, when I have to edit photos, because I take photos on my phone and I have to, like, crop them and do all of that, I have a stylus that I
yeah.
have to use because I can't do all of that. It's a problem.
Oh, you know what? Let's face reality. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. I'm tech weakness. If someone says to me, "Oh, like here's another example." So last night we're talking before Steph's live, and I said, I'd really like to uh, create a new this and create a new that, like for my YouTube channel, do a new heading, do it. And she goes, "Oh, that's easy. You just go to Canva." And in my head, I'm thinking, easy for you. Easy for you. I can't do it. I've tried to do it.
But you did do it.
Okay. But I did it, but I used a template that you had. If I had to go and create something very different from that template, I couldn't do it. And
That's why
that's
you
what I'm
had
trying to
me.
say. It's
And
probably,
strengths and weaknesses. You just said it yourself. And strengths and weaknesses.
yeah. Well, that's true, but
And that's what friends are for.
you have a lot more strengths than I do.
Your greatest strength is being able to listen to me and
Okay, and here's
support
another
me.
thing. So I'm just going to shout this out because I can't shout from the rooftops high enough for the praise I have for Steph's design space, Stephanie Collins,
Just stop.
okay, aka Stephanie Collins, because if it wasn't for her, this podcast wouldn't get put up. The template wouldn't get put up. She sends me the picture to do and the wording to do. Sweet Jesus, if it was up to me, you people wouldn't even be hearing from us. Okay? So let's give Stephanie Collins a high five in the comments, shall we?
You're
Thanks, Steph.
welcome. It's my
Can't thank
pleasure.
you enough.
It's my
It's my
pleasure.
pleasure.
I'll
Okay,
send
how
you I'll
far off the
send
rails
you
did
the
that just go?
I don't know, but I'll
The
send you your
invoice?
payment later.
Oh my gosh. So
No.
talk about going off the rails. Yeah. What were we? What was our topic? I can't even remember
Does it
anymore.
does it matter? Oh, I do. So there's something you said about you said something and it reminded me
It was
to
probably me whining about something.
oh
So that
okay,
narrows it down.
I have a solution to whatever it was that you said.
Okay, what's that?
Um oh, when you can't think of something to do. Like you get like a
Yes.
creative block, right? So what I've started doing is in
Okay,
my
can I just
planner.
interrupt you for one? Don't lose that thought. It's not really a creative block. It's an I don't really want to. I don't want
Okay.
to. That's why I'm saying the funk's there. Before I would sit, okay, go ahead, finish what you're saying.
I'm like, I'm trying to hold it all in, and
I
you're
know.
like giving me stuff, and I'm like, I
I know.
can't. Okay, for anybody else, this does not apply to Lorie. So for anybody else, my husband just brought me food and drink. Isn't he sweet?
Mhm.
For anybody else, so what I started doing, especially for the creative part, is when I see something, because I can't remember a darn thing, I will see something I really like and I want to try. And I'm like, oh, I want to try that. And as soon as I say it, it is gone forever. And I don't know who did it. I don't know where to go back to. I have a list now. I have a specific page in my planner, and I
Mhm.
write down the title of the video and the person, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I do the
I
same
can go
thing.
back and look at that. And even with like TikTok reels or whatever, the really fast things that they do,
Yeah.
I still do the same thing. Uh so I can remember to go back if I need, because sometimes I'm like, oh, that, and I know how to do it, but there may be a little piece and I'm like, I'm not sure which way that fold went or whatever. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So I
for
have to
sure.
go back and
Yeah.
look at it. So I have a list, and if something pops into my head for me to create, I'll write it down because
Yeah.
I it's not going to stay there.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I have those altered composition notebooks that I make, and that's what I use. I use them for, you know, videos that I've seen and write all the and measurements. I'm not a measurer. So if a video has measurements, like there's some that have measurements like right on the screen as they're going. But, stellar. That's an awesome way to do it because a lot of people will just screenshot those measurements,
Hmm.
right? And like I don't. I just save it to watch later. Like if it's a
Right.
video, I'll
Yeah.
watch later and then I'll pull it up when I'm sitting here at my desk and then kind of go through it. But I think the measurement thing is fantastic because if people are just winging it, like when I watch, like you said, to get inspiration or whatever, when you're watching the reels, it's
Hmm.
too fast for me.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
I literally have to watch it 800 times to be able to digest that. So that's not, I have to do the videos and that's the end of that.
Another thing I've realized too is not everybody, but some people, they do the reels, but if you read their description, they have a YouTube video. So they just took their YouTube video and
Oh,
sped it
okay.
up to make a reel. And so you can go back and look at that.
Okay. So see, friends, see, this is what I'm talking about. I just skim by it. Oh, screw it. They don't have, I
No,
give
well,
up.
that's just a way to get more exposure. So it's actually
Yeah.
because I've done that myself. It's but I put in there, check out the full video here.
Hmm.
Because if you like it sped up, then you're gonna want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I
Okay.
would definitely look into that and see if the ones that you're looking for have a better video for you.
Awesome. Okay. So the other thing that um, I want to talk about when we're talking about funks is there I think this year was a particularly bad year for me in a lot of different ways when I talk about my creativity and my planners. Because there was I can't remember at what point it was. Maybe it was a couple of months ago. I don't know. Maybe it was around about the time my husband retired. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with
I
that
just
that
that well
answer.
that well yeah that was part of it. I'll tell you. The weather played a part, and then that happened, and then a few things going on, And so yeah, it just pulled me into the abyss. But um, I literally was saying to Steph, yeah, I think I'm just going to pack it all in. I'm not going to do another video. I'm not going to, I'm just going to put all this stuff in a yard sale come summer and be done with it. And then I don't have to even, this part I won't have to worry about anymore. And, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I could because I still enjoy it. I like it. I
Mhm.
like doing it. So, we talked about, you know, different ways to compromise. I think you have to compromise when that kind of stuff happens. And for me, usually every year, I'm going to say it's the weather part that's the culprit for me. But this year it was a few things. So I
Mhm.
think I was, usually like here and I was down here.
It was compounded.
Yeah, it was. It was. There was a lot of things, but anywho, at the end of the day, the sun's shining, and I'm getting blinded by the light, so to speak. And I think there's a song, isn't it?
There
Ha
is, and
ha
it's gonna be
ha.
stuck in my head all day now.
I did
Blinded
that on
by the
purpose.
light.
But I think the thing of it is at the end of the day, you have to think, okay, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like it right now, and it's okay. Don't feel like it. Don't do a video. Don't put in your planner if you don't want to. You know, uh, just,
Do what you can, and
yeah,
that's that.
wait until you're okay.
Yep.
And that's what I did. I started feeling a little bit okay, and I thought, you know what? I kind of left some collab people hanging, and I thought, okay, I got to reach out to them and say, hey,
And you know what? That is the key thing that you just said. When other people are depending on you,
yeah,
it helps push you past that point. And
yeah,
when you push past that point of, ugh, you
yeah.
start to feel better. You are more in control now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have taken care of something, it's no longer hanging over you, and you feel better. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I find for myself is when I get behind, and it's the same concept is and that overwhelmed feeling, that's what I'm like, I'm done because subconsciously or whatever, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah.
But then I literally am like, yeah, you can because you have to. These people are depending on you. You promised, you
Yeah.
know? And so I'm like, okay, let's
But
do
see,
it.
even,
You
and
don't
I'm going
have
to
to do
ask,
it with a good attitude either. You can have a pissy attitude while you're
okay,
doing
so that's
stuff.
what I'm going to ask you. That's the question I want to ask you. There was a lot of times where I didn't do a video, and I didn't do the video, even though I may have wanted to. I didn't feel like I could be myself. I couldn't fake, the
Hmm.
jovial, that kind of,
Yeah.
I couldn't fake it. So I thought, and why do I want to project all those lovely people that watch my channel to grumpy, you know, what do I want to grumpy, grumpy Gora or whatever I'm called? I don't know.
I
I'm
don't know.
trying to pick a name. I was going to say Glenda, but that's a heating tool, so I'm going to leave that one alone. but but that's what was going through my head. Oh, I don't feel it today, and I'm not going to get on there and try and pretend that I'm
See,
okay.
I've done videos where I'm just like, I'm not feeling it, guys. Sorry, that's not myself, and I may
Yeah,
not talk as much, or I'm not as what I'm never woohoo because that's just not my personality. But you know what I
yeah.
mean? But I again, you have to push through, and as long as you let the people know that are
Hmm.
watching or listening, hey, this I'm just going through a tough time, but I still want to be here.
Okay, so my next question
And you
is
may
don't you?
find that once you start doing it, it actually you start to feel better, if that makes
Okay,
sense,
so
in the process.
that's what I was going to say to you. So I, and I'm not going to, I agree with that to a certain degree, but with me, and I was going to ask you this question. Do you find when you're not in the mood and you're doing your crafting, things go wrong? See, when I am not in the mood and I come and do a video anyway, and I don't know, the sticker doesn't go down right or it's crooked. And normally I would make a joke about it. And, but this day, because I'm not, it's like I want to rip it right out of the page and tear it all up right live, like throw the Supreme Fit right on video. That, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
my patience level for stuff not going according to plan, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
um, kind of sends me off um, the deep end. I just get so pissy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I'm in a okay mood and I would make light of it. Oh, there I go again. I couldn't lay a sticker down to save my life. Da 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 da. But right. But if I'm not in the mood, it's like, I'm just gonna rip this up, and you know what I mean?
So here's my suggestion for that. And for anybody else who feels this way, do it anyway, because nothing says you have to upload that video. Nothing says that you have to. I'm just saying, if you start out and you're strong, you're like, okay, this is good. And then that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it happened. Nobody has to see it. You're not live, right? But the point is that you got up and you tried.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point, is just getting up and trying. And if it doesn't work out, great, fine. It doesn't work out, you tore your planner all to hell and you threw a pissy fit. Nobody has to know that except for
And
you.
the interwebs are now talking about Lori Dean Plans. Oh, by the way, she's on Gossip Bakery.
But if you don't put it out there, no one's going to see it. But here's the thing, it could go really well, and then you'll regret not filming. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
just do what you want to do, but you don't have to put it out there for the whole world if you find that it's just not what you want.
Yeah.
Because, that's my thing. Because the thing is you're getting there and you're doing it. You're doing something. Just like when funks are a part of depression,
Yeah.
and self-talk and how you treat yourself when you're going through something like that can help or hinder you. Like, you have power over yourself, right? I know I feel like absolute trash. I know I don't want to do a dang thing. I know I have fibro, and then I could just go into a whole tirade on how that's ruined my life. But I could do the flip thing and be like, yeah, I have all of these things, but I still have to get this done. Suck it up,
Yeah.
buttercup.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I have found that the more that I stop being negative with my own self, I acknowledge I feel like crap, and then I have to move past that,
Mm-hmm.
because constantly acknowledging throughout the whole day how I feel
Mm-hmm.
isn't helping me. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about physical stuff. There's physical stuff that you can't push through. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you
Yeah.
can't move, you can't move. If you have the flu, you have the flu. If you have this,
Yeah.
that.
Like,
But it's the
exactly.
it's the mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the mindset of.
I totally agree.
And
Yeah.
but I mean, it takes time and patience. I will
And
grumble to myself, you need to get over this, and blah 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 blah. And you're just laying here like a lump on a log. You're not going to get anything done. So just get up. Just get. And I will tell myself I don't feel like it. And I have conversations with myself. But that's how I have to be. Like, I have to hear it. It's
okay,
like
so the thing of it
hearing it.
is, though, yeah, see, so this is the thing. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. What you say to yourself matters.
Hmm.
There's times, though, and I'm an advocate of that because I've done it before. Um, there are times, though, and for some people, that just doesn't
Oh
work,
yeah, I agree. And there's been times that hasn't worked
right?
for me either.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's great. And I roll right back over, put the covers over my head, and I'm
And
just there.
I think sometimes too, it depends on your what's the word? What's your
Personality.
support your
Oh
support
yeah, yeah.
system. You know what I mean? Like here's how bad it is. So there's times, and Steph knows that, I get so busy at the club, and I get and I'm just not feeling it. And I, you know, I'm the type of person where I don't want to inflict my bad mood on anybody else. So I'm depending on the video. If I'm that snarky or whatever, I just won't do one. If or I just won't get on Zoom because I don't want to tear you down, because I'm and that's just my
I
personality. And
know.
now I know Steph will say, "Oh, I'm here anytime, even if you just want to sit." The problem is I don't want to sit. I don't want to be at my desk, right? I don't
Yes,
want that part of it. Not that I don't want your
I know.
friend, your companionship, and it's just I don't even want to look at this stuff half the time. So, and I mean, I'm talking about a month or so back. Things are getting a lot better for me now.
Yes.
But, about, a month, 2 months ago, I was like, I literally was on the verge of just saying, screw this shit. And it was for a lot of different reasons, not just
Yeah.
my personal life, even the community itself. There was things going on that was irritating me, and I'm thinking, why am I doing this? What's the effort I'm putting in for what? So I started
Hmm.
thinking, and you know that we talked about it. Like,
I
what is
know.
the purpose behind all
Why?
this?
Yeah.
Like,
Why are we killing ourselves for
why? Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Right? I get it.
So yeah, that funk comes in a big way. But I do find to get out of it, well, here goes my nose again. To get out of it is Stephanie is 100% correct. You just have to force yourself to, uh, you know,
Do
climb on board,
something. Yeah.
do something, even if it's a video. And if it's really bad one day and I don't have the not courage, but the
To care.
gumption
Yeah.
to put out a video, it's okay. I've been doing daily videos for 2 years. So if I don't want to do one day, I'm not going to do one.
And,
That's
and
I
absolutely.
think that's
That's why it's
the
yours. It is
yeah,
yours to do with it how you want.
yeah. And I think that's what everybody kind of has to do. They can't be um and like I said, my personality, I just don't like inflicting my mood on other people because I can't stand it myself. If
No, I
someone
get
were
that.
if someone comes to the club and they're in a snarky mood and they start taking it out on me, like honestly, you're getting way too close for a backhand. I am not putting up with it.
I get
So
that.
I don't want to have to inflict my snark on anybody else if I don't have to. I don't know if that makes sense or if
Absolutely.
that
No, it
sounds
does. I do the same thing though.
self-centered. I
If
don't know.
I'm if I'm in a really, I'm not gonna say a really dark place, but if I'm angry about
Yeah.
God knows what, I
Yeah.
can't even put my finger on it, but I'm just angry. I'm
Yeah.
just mad. Um, and I will tell Kenny, it's like he'll be like, "What's wrong?" I don't know. As soon as I figure it out, I'll tell you. It's not you. Like I will, because it's not him, to my knowledge. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But nothing good, happy, or positive is going to come out of my mouth right now. So let me just be. Let me just
Right. And
be.
and that's those are the times that I'm talking about. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about just waking up in the morning and I don't feel like it. I'm talking about times that you like you say, you when you're in that mood that you're not going to
Hmm.
go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go and film a video. That'll make me feel better.
No.
Like hell, I don't think so,
No, that's when
right?
I'm making a graphic. Sorry, nothing's happening today.
Exactly. So that's kind of my point when I
Yeah.
say, you know, yeah, you have to be in a you have to have that self-talk and stuff like that. But there's days you just don't feel like creating. You just don't
No.
feel like, and it's okay to do that. It really is
Honestly,
okay. I have
everything is okay
yeah,
to a point.
yeah, yeah,
So you
yeah.
just have to figure
I
that out for for yourself. I am who I am, but I'm
yeah,
also the kind of person, my personality is uh get it done. Just you have to get it done. Just pick up your
mhm.
big girl panties, suck it up, whatever. You
Now
just have
see,
to do it.
I agree with you. If I had a business, I would probably be exactly that way because
Yeah.
there's nothing worse to me than letting people down. If like you know, well, yourself how many times we've had a Zoom and I say, oh, so and so didn't get their altered composition notebook that I sent them, and I feel so bad. Like there's times I'm up at night thinking about that because I feel like Why didn't they get it? And how come? And now people are going to look at me like, oh yeah, she promised it and she didn't send it. That kind of
Right, because you have
mentality.
all kinds of control over the postal
I
system.
know that, but still, it's still that part of me of letting somebody
I
down.
know. Yeah.
Like when I do a giveaway and I'm sending something to somebody, like I pay extra for tracking because
No, I get
I
that.
don't, I don't want people to think that I'm not sending it to them.
Yep.
Is that not, that sounds a bit paranoid to
No, it
me,
doesn't
but
because but
it's,
that's who you are. That is a testament to your oh my gosh, what is the word? It's not personality, it's character. That is a testament to your character
mhm,
because your character is who you are when nobody's watching,
yeah,
right? So, and I mean, obviously you're telling people, but if you weren't, excuse me, telling them, they would not know that this keeps you
yeah,
up at night. That is part of your character.
no,
And the same thing with me. Part of my character is I need every single customer, patron, friend to be 100% satisfied.
yeah,
And if they're not, I need to fix it, right?
yeah,
Because that's what you're there for.
mhm.
And I mean, I told you about that one time I got a negative review. I about had a heart attack and a
I
half.
know, I know. We
Oh
talked
my
about it at
gosh.
length.
And yeah, and so I contacted the person and it all worked out. She retracted, like she realized what it was, and she gave me a 5 star. Do you know, and yes, I'm gonna brag. That is the only negative review I have ever had in the whole 5 years of my business.
That's awesome.
And then it got
And that,
retracted because it was a
and
misunderstanding on
and that
shipping.
says a lot right there. But see, that's the thing. That's that. And so you're the exact same as me in that regard. It's just the thought of somebody
Yes.
sitting there thinking, okay, I didn't get it. She said she was going to send it. Why didn't it come? And, you know,
Hmm.
and then God forbid the ones that didn't reach out and say, oh, I didn't get it, and are just sitting at home thinking, okay,
Oh
well,
yeah, that's
I'm not
bothers
gonna
me is the
I'm not
things
gonna
people who don't
enter
say
there
anything.
or enter her giveaway because she's just not gonna send it. And like yeah,
That loser, Lori.
yeah, I'm a first class overthinker, procrastinator and overthinker. I overthink everything. Someone says something to me, I'll sit there, I don't know, 15 minutes later. Now I don't dwell on it, but I'll think, what does she mean by that? I wonder what she meant by that. Do you see
Oh
what I'm saying?
God, yeah. Because I've
Yeah.
been that way, like especially when you are in one of your funks, and I'll send a message and you'll reply back, and I'm like, I wonder what that meant.
See?
Like, is
Yeah.
she really okay? There have been a couple of times I've been so tempted to reach out to Meg just to check on you, but then
Oh,
I don't want to
listen.
upset you by doing that. So
Yeah, no. I am not. Okay, let's just stress this is not some where I need to be hospitalized.
no, it's not.
Okay. It's not. I'm not at that. I'm just saying there's I always had a problem with the weather. I
Hmm.
always get seasonal depression. This year just seems to be a little bit worse than other years
But it's
because
compounded by other stuff.
but there's other things on top of it.
Yeah,
So that's why I know that it's not but it's not, I would never let this, I don't know. I'm going to call it a funk because I don't even know if it's massive depression. Well, it is a bit because,
hmm
it happens every year at this
it's
time
it's
for the
actually called
weather.
seasonal
It
depression.
is.
People have seasonal
Um,
depression.
yeah, but it's not, what I'm trying to get at is it's not something that I need to go and seek help for or I'm
I
not
know.
to the point where it's like, I just want to curl up here in the fetal position and die. No, you know,
I know.
I,
But
I,
because I'm your friend and I love you, I still, and I know it's never to that point, but
yeah,
there's still that little part of me that wants someone to check on you because I can't. If I lived closer, you would hate me. We probably wouldn't be friends anymore
yeah,
because I
I
would just like
probably,
pop over and be like, hey.
yeah.
And you'd be like, oh my God.
Meg, let the dogs out.
Those dogs would do nothing but lick me
Oh,
up.
I know they would. They'll run after you with the toys in their mouth. So,
Oh,
Man,
that's
I'll
too
just ask you
funny.
to go wait in a side shed for me. You can sit with my true crime buddy over there.
With your ex murderer.
Yeah. But yeah, it's you know what? It's a real thing for a lot of different people. And I know that. I think that's why we moved it up because like I said in the beginning,
Well,
we
we had
had
some comments
we had some
also.
yeah, that a lot of people are feeling it right now
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Like there's all kinds of reasons out there. Like right now, let's face reality. The world is not a good place right now. We are all suffering in ways that you know, and it's a real thing. People are losing their jobs and people are can't feed their people and like there's a whole bunch of reasons why. Mine just happens to be the weather. I well, one of them. The weather is a big thing for me. Hubby not working as much and semi-retiring is another big thing. It's a big change to have
Hmm.
somebody standing around, okay, what are we doing today? Like
Or
I'm some sort
interrupting your
of
podcast.
like I'm some sort of Carnival Cruise person. Like, okay, this is what we're this is what we're doing today. This is the excursion we're
Are
going
you a
on.
cruise director?
That's what I mean, a cruise director. Like that's the thing. I think that I take that on myself because I think, you know what? There's times when I look at that and I think, okay, I feel bad for having this selfish thing and I don't want to say selfish because I've knitted out this little thing for myself to keep myself busy and occupied and whatever. He deserves a retirement as well. So that's why I have to compromise. So that's why we did the gym thing. So we go with our friends and we get that outing and I tell them Tuesdays don't even
Don't even look at
because
me.
I do my podcast. I do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
don't even come near me on Tuesdays. That's my day. Monday night, I listen to Steph's live, like
And then I get the
so
crumbs after that.
I'm trying to keep it so that I don't
Yeah.
have to hear every time I come to my desk, oh, you're going again. Oh. So
Oh,
that
that
kind of
reminds
brings
me. I wanted to tell you something off the
go ahead.
podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, write it down because
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
going to remember. Um so yeah, it's a little bit of seasonal depression, uh, trying to get used to, hubby around all the time and, you know, little different things. But it all, well, and the way the world is, that's really got me down a lot. So yeah, taking it upon myself. This town I live in is just, I'm going to town hall meetings and yeah,
I
they're
get
gonna
it.
nick they're gonna nickname me Karen because I'm not gonna stand for it anymore. I don't care.
Good for you,
I'm go-
Karen.
I'm gonna go out of this world. What do they say? With a bang. They're
Looney Lori. That's what we're gonna
that's
start calling you.
oh don't do that because we already call my sister that.
Oh no.
I'm not loony. I just realized, you know what? There's things that you realize as you get older. Like I'm going to be 65 soon, and I think to myself, I don't know what's happening in this town. All of a sudden, there's going to be this great big, and not that it shouldn't be. I can't even say it because I know people are going to get upset. But we live a little north of what's called Brampton. Now, again, if I say what it's really called, what we all really call it, I am going to get called a racist and a this and a that. So I'm not going to say it. But apparently, some section of the people that live down there have now bought a great big plot of land up here, and they're going to build this great big monstrosity of a temple. Okay, I didn't know that was happening until a friend of mine said, "Oh, we got to go to this meeting because they're going to do this, so we got to make our voices heard." And da da da. Anyway, it's
Okay.
just it's these little things that I'm thinking to myself, I have lived under a rock. I should have been part of this sort of thing and had my voice heard for many of things. And the main thing is this is that I'm trying to tell you the things that bring me to a funk
Right. Yeah.
in my creativity. That's why I'm talking about it. Is there's things. Here's an example. I live in this town for 30 years now. 32 years. Okay. Maybe more. Contributed to taxes, paid my taxes, raised my kids, da 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 da. Do you know there is nothing in this town for seniors to do? There's no club. There's no there's nothing. There's no the what do you call it? The recreation center that we have. If if I wanted to play hockey, yeah, all that. There's pads there to play hockey and I could go play. I'm 65, I'm not playing hockey.
No.
There's a walking pad over there that gets closed up during the week. And if there's, you could use it on the weekend for $5. And if, only if somebody hasn't rented the soccer field that's around it. So these things,
Yeah.
it gets me up and up, and I start getting so pissy about it because why is it we don't, any other town you go to, they've got these big rec centers and they got libraries and pools and, you know, we got nothing, nothing. We have a library in town that houses the homeless because they get to use the Wi-Fi for free. Now, don't come at me. People are homeless. I get it. But I can't even go to that library
Yeah.
because they're all stretched out on the tables or the chairs and no one will kick them out. So, and should they kick them out? I don't know. All I'm saying is there's nowhere for us to go
Hmm.
to do something. And that's not right.
I get
Now,
that.
my sister-in-law, she lives southwest of us, southeast, and they have old age chair yoga classes. She goes to aquafit classes. She's got this great big conglomerate of a yeah
Wow.
aquafit. We have a swimming pool here, an outdoor swimming pool. One, you can't use it all winter, which is
No.
90% of the year.
Yes.
Okay. And then second of all, they haven't opened it in the last couple years because there's not enough people to be lifeguards. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that look you just did and that shaking of the head, my head is going to fall off soon because I have shook it so much, it's not even funny. Like the thought process of people right now, and I think that's another thing that's got me that okay. So anyway, my planners are, I can't. I can't.
I
See,
get
this
it.
is
But it's all how it affects you. It
yes.
doesn't matter if it makes sense to other people. That's irrelevant. All that matters is this is how it affects you. And it's the same for every person who listens. It doesn't matter that this doesn't bother somebody else. It
Yeah.
bothers you. It affects
Yeah.
you. It affects how you feel. So, but I have recognized it and now you're taking steps to try to fix it. At least you can say at the end of the day, I did something
I
as
tried.
opposed to doing nothing.
Hmm.
Right. And that's going to give you a little bit of hope. And that's one of the things that I've realized for me. When I start feeling hopeless, when I start feeling like something it's just hopeless, like why bother? That's when I really get down. That's one of the
Hmm.
reasons why, and people can say what they want and I don't care. I'm a head in the sand kind of person. I used to not be. I used to be like that all up and I got to do something. I don't feel like uh what anything I do matters. I can't change. I can change what's immediate right here. Okay, I can't change out here. I can't.
Hmm.
Okay, I know my vote counts. Okay, and then that's it. And then they get to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I can't. So I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the news. I don't know who and what is happening. I can't because I start to feel so hopeless that I literally want to just stop doing why? Why do I even exist? Because it's so hopeless. And I can't.
Yeah.
That's why I can't listen to all this stuff. I can't watch it because I start feeling like that, you know?
Yeah.
And
No, and I understand. I mean, obviously I can't fix everything. And
no,
not that I'm even trying to fix it. I guess it's annoying how I don't even know how to say it. How some of us can go around life and think, ah, it's not my problem. Ah, it's not my problem. But really it is, because at the end of the day it's going to affect
hmm,
you and your loved ones and all that other stuff. And that's the same thing with me right now when I talk about being 65 and nothing to do in this town, because at some point my son is going to be and his wife are going to be that age, and they're not going to have anything.
right.
And because it's a vicious cycle, right?
Hmm.
Now, there's all kinds of stupid reasons. Oh, there's this reason. That bullshit. That's bull. I call bullshit on it. Okay. It's a way for you to, like, I truly believe, and I don't know what it's like in the States, nor do I not care, but it doesn't affect me. So it doesn't enter in my mind.
Right, yeah, I get that.
But here, I get annoyed because our government pensions, our government old age pension and Canada pension plan totals $1,500. And I know for a fact when I do the hamper program and people are coming in to get their hampers and they have to provide their form of income, and I see that the government is giving them triple the amount that I get, and I've worked here my whole friggin' life. I'm sorry,
Uh,
but that affects me. I can't just, it's not that I can change it. It still affects me because I think to myself, you're getting triple the amount that I get a month. Okay. Plus a furniture allowance, plus, and you're here at a food drive? Come on. Come
I
on.
know. And see, those are the things that make me feel hopeless because I can't. There's nothing I can do to change that. I cast my vote to the person who says things are going to happen and they don't. What can I do?
Yeah.
And
No,
and
I
I,
totally
I
agree.
and I realize there's probably whatever. That's what makes me feel hopeless,
Yeah. No,
and
I
that's
agree.
why I just
But
can't.
I'm mentioning all this because these are things that pile up on me right
Hmm.
now, on top of that seasonal part. So it makes it hard for me to fluff that stuff off. Now, if I was out in the pool and it was sun shining and we were doing day trips, and I'm not giving it a second thought. But because you're sitting here
Yes.
in the dead of winter and there's nothing, but like it's hard not to think about these things. It's hard, you know, they're talking now like we are the highest, and I shouldn't even be bringing but this is another little thing. They're talking now that the they're trying to we are the highest tax probably nation in the friggin' world. We pay taxes like you would not even believe in this country. Now they're talking about implementing a tax to tax you on the equity in your home. You can't get ahead here. You just can't. So it's stuff like that, and a lot of it is I worry for my kids and my
Hmm.
grandson. How is that going to affect Connor's 19? He's never going to be able to own a home.
No, I get that.
Not here. Not going to be able to own a home here. And he can't rent, so he'll be living with mommy and daddy for the rest of his life, basically, until they've gone and they leave him a house. That's the reality of it here.
Hmm.
The honest God's reality of it. And that at my age is sending me further down because I'm thinking, oh my God, like, what have we done? What have we done here? So anyway, the end of the day, yes, you're right, Steph. You have to pull your big girl pants up and just keep going with what you're doing, and muddle through and make your planners and your creative crafts as pretty as you possibly can to give you any sort of joy that you possibly can.
That's
And
true.
that's you have to eke it out, right? Where it is, you have to go and etch it out for yourself.
And that's the thing, only
So
you can do it.
yeah, 100%.
So, oh, that
And
reminds me.
I say that because the sun's shining today. Tomorrow, when when Toto and what's her name are hanging off of my roof, it might be a different story. But right now, it's a
Right
good
now
thing.
it's a good day.
It's a good day.
And on that note,
Bye.